Good morning, YouTube. Got a little quieter environment on this video than most as I'm in here by myself. So today's wonderful adventure is I got a call that we've got to fix that. This separation is not good, not normal, and not okay. And I don't blame them. We need to fix this. So essentially what happened, there's a bunch of things that could have happened, but most likely that was either something that got pulled apart in shipping, or possibly during the install, you know, if he tweaked it just right, he might have pulled it and not realized it. In this case, I can see there's a little bit of a bow here. So I'm going to go with that it's pushed in because that's pulled out and stuck that way. As dumb as it might sound, with the heat we've had, it's possible for some of these glue joints to actually soften enough to pull apart and then cool down and lock that way. I've had a couple of them I've found so far that have been like that. Very weird that it's getting hot enough to do that, but I know inside my truck yesterday it was 108 degrees outside, and inside the truck was 135. So it doesn't take very much to build a whole lot of heat in a vehicle. If these were delivered back when we were having 118, 120 degree days, I can see this happen. So I'm going to pull all these doors off and get this opened up so that that we have the open frames, and that way I can get tools in there to work on this and a clamp so we can pull this back together. And I think when we pull that, we can get it straightened out and actually solve some other issues. So give it a few minutes and I'll get all these doors off. So while the glue gun heats up, I'm going to take a quick walk around this in-law apartment, make sure everything's good here other than this. Okay, reset the camera to bring it over to where you can see what I'm actually doing. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to pump the hot glue, and I just got the cord tangled in. I'm going to pump the hot glue down into this joint. You know, before I do that, I should make sure this joint's going to move. No, it is not. Okay, time out for different tools. Ends up, we have a factory defect. This joint was built and glued, and then they moved the cabinet before that glue joint was dry. And or the face frame was dry, whichever, probably the cabinet. When they attached it to it, this was, I don't even know. There's a great video, I don't know. Probably what happened when they built this face frame, they moved it before it was totally dry. In the speed of assembling cabinets, the guys actually just flexed this side panel just a little bit. It popped on, they nailed it, glued it, out the door it went. Mass production. So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to cut the original dowels, and we're going to use the industrial wood glue to glue that joint. Now, because the cabinet's in place, everything else is holding it. The dowels are more of an alignment thing when you're building the face frame. yeah, I'd like to have them, but I'm probably not going to. If it looks like it's gonna be an issue, I will pull the microwave down, we'll go in behind it with a pocket hole and reconnect it that way. So, a lot of noise, I'll blank it out. At one point, this moved ever so slightly. So, that tells me it's now free, and that means that once we put the clamp back in place, put some new glue in there, we'll be able to reattach that and blow dust all over your camera. So we're gonna pump some glue in here. And I don't want it to come out the front, if all possible. So I'm gonna pump it in on the back side. And then we're going to take a razor knife and spread that glue down through there, and at the same time push it back, because I really don't want glue coming out the front if I can possibly avoid it. So now we'll crank this clamp down, and that's going to pull those sides, or those two pieces together. And in about 10 minutes this glue will be all dry, and we will have a repaired joint. And like I said, in a pinch, if I had to, we can take this microwave out of here and we can go in behind it and put in a pocket hole. I really don't think that's going to be necessary. We're going to build this little bridge here out of the glue on the side of the cabinet, and that'll prevent that from being able to move as well. And between those points, we'll now have glue here, and glue in the joint. And with just a little bit of touch up here, I'll be able to make that joint look nice again. And it doesn't look bad, mostly it has excess glue on it. You notice that it is pulled ever so slightly. That's going to actually correct once I take this clamp off, and we only need to have a clamp for about 5 minutes. So that's really all there is to it. Once you identify what went wrong, then you can just figure out the steps. In this case, I originally thought that it was free and it had actually broken that glue joint. It hadn't. It had glued with that gap in there when they glued it. You know, again, mass production, you're gonna have little errors here and there on this stuff. Luckily, this is one that's fairly simple fix. And because it was pushed out, it was bowing this style out, and that was the first thing I noticed. As soon as I walked in here, I could see that that style was pushed out. That told me that this was held out. It wasn't just sitting there. Took the doors off, put the clamp on, and boom, all better. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna put all these doors and crap back on here, and we'll get over to the other main house and see if we got a video or not. If we do, you'll see it, and if we don't, you won't. Otherwise, I'm Papa J. You have a great day.